A little bit later than I meant to be for this, huh? Definitely. Just gonna try to move this a little bit. I don't know. It's always weird. Life is always weird. But you know, if life always worked perfectly fine, it wouldn't exactly be life, you know? Anyways. Do. So we end up again with the weird, I look down at my computer screen and then it looks super weird on the thingamajigger. Anyways, I am here in the person. Vinny Congetti, LOL, the new owner is Bowser. Yeah, that is pretty ironic. I was talking about today, actually, like, with some of my friends in a different place. Like, what were the chances that you were born with the last name Bowser and then somehow got promoted up to that level in Nintendo leadership? That's just kind of funny to me. Then he says, if he's Bowser, then who is Peach and Mario? I don't know. That's his birth last name, though. He didn't change that. That's just the last name he was born with. That's what I was talking about. What are the chances he was born with that last name and ended up getting promoted to such a position at a company where, you know, that's an important figure? I guess it's an important figure. I don't know. People are joking now that Nintendo's doomed because Bowser's in charge. I'm actually kind of optimistic for this. I mean, in my opinion, Reggie was a fine guy and the memes were on point, but I think he wasn't really all that charismatic. I mean, you could tell from all his speeches, he just sounded kind of a little boring for kids, which is Nintendo's main audience. Doug Bowser seems a bit more enthusiastic in a way. So I'm optimistic that he'll probably do a better job on the marketing side of things. We'll see how he does managing the company as a whole. But yeah, that was a thing. Reggie hit the bucket. Not till April, though. Reggie officially retires on April 26th, I think. Not sure on that one. I'll have to fact check. Nintendo. Bowser is the head of his ship and a bad dude. Bowser is also the head of Nintendo of America. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, we end up with the weird thing again where I look down at the computer screen and then it looks super weird on camera. You know, I'd love to know, this has nothing to do with Nintendo of America. If anybody ever watching these streams happens to be watching them on a 4K monitor or a 4K TV, can you tell me if it's playing back 4K? Because I don't have a 4K TV in this room, and there's definitely not a 4K screen on my laptop. So I can't check to see if it's actually playing 4K. It should be a 4K webcam, so it should be picking up the 4K. But I'm not sure. Vinny says, I'll be back. Okay, Vinny, see you later. With info. If you go through an Apple TV 4K doesn't support YouTube 4K playback because of the way it does crap. It's YouTube's. I don't know if it's YouTube or Apple's fault because YouTube uses a 4K encoding format that Apple doesn't support on Apple TV 4K. So even though it's the Apple TV 4K with a 4K TV, it still only outputs 1080p for strange reasons. You have to use like the built-in YouTube app on like a smart TV or something. Or like a Roku box, but I don't know anybody that actually has a Roku box. Apple TV is where it's at, folks. Yeah, I have a smart TV, but I ended up buying an Apple TV anyway. just because I wanted to have my iTunes content and just the continuity and everything. It was much more useful to have the Apple TV interface on screen rather than just what was built into that computer to begin with. Also random, I'm a bit closer to the microphone than I usually am, so hopefully it's louder. There were some issues in the past where I wasn't talking loud enough. You couldn't hear what I was saying. So it should be fixed. I'm trying to make eye contact with the camera. It's weird because there's like I don't know. Just making eye contact with the camera is not my thing. But I guess I have to learn to do that if I'm going to do this channel right. But yeah, I feel like I do kind of owe you guys this since we haven't had a variety podcast. I've missed like maybe 2 of the last 3 weeks doing these little live streams and majiggers. So I kind of owed it for you guys anyway. But then I also haven't uploaded any kind of actual content in a long time. And I even last week kind of said I would, but then I didn't. So that was a fail on my part, huh? Definitely. Anyways. There's just a lot of weirdness to figure out. That's the thing. It's the thing when you start a YouTube channel, you realize there's a lot more than you initially thought that you're going to have to keep up with on the way here. It's mostly on the tech side of things. It's hard to figure out all that tech stuff exactly the way it should. Vinny, the playback is like 10 to 15 seconds slower than my phone. All right. I was just wondering if I was actually playing back at 4K. Because I'm not sure. The YouTube web app I'm using may only support up to 1080p, but I can't check. I guess I could check later, shouldn't I? Very laggy on the 4K. That could just be I mean, it's 4K is a very, it's tough to I'm not making excuses. It's just 4K requires a lot of bandwidth. So it could be on my end or it could be on your end. I don't know. Somewhere in there, someone's got slow internet if it's being laggy on 4K. But it's pretty hard to get 4K streaming to be smooth. Like, whenever I buy 4K movies on iTunes, I always download them before I watch them because if you try to just stream the 4K movie straight from iTunes, it's going to buffer every like 15 minutes. It takes a good 3 or 4 hours to fully download the 4K movie, but it's worth it to not have to buffer when you got to go back and watch it. Man, I'm thinking in the future I might look into OBS. I'm just concerned my poor little MacBook Air is going to die trying to deal with OBS, but that's why I'm just using like the web app here. But yeah, I don't really know what exactly. Vinny, I feel like your camera can only handle 1080p and the TV was doing a special up quality thing. It is a 4K webcam, so it's not the camera's fault. It's a 4K webcam. I'm concerned about the software on the computer's end because the software has to support the 4K, and I don't think the software I'm using to stream right now supports 4K. I think it only supports 1080p. So that's what I got to figure out because it definitely is a 4K webcam. It says so on the box. But anyways, but yeah, if you have the if you're using your Apple TV box, I know Apple TV upscales everything. That's why it has a fan in it because it has the A10X chip always working to upscale literally everything to run in 4K. It was the Apple TV, yeah. But the thing with the Apple TV is they may have fixed it, but the Apple did not support the format YouTube was using to encode 4K video. And so it would only come through as 1080p on Apple TV. I don't know if they ever fixed that. There's a lot of weird stuff with YouTube, let me just say, and their fun encoding garbage. But yeah, that A10X chip in the Apple TV 4K is upscaling everything. That's why if you saw iFixit's teardown of the Apple TV 4K, it actually has a fan in it like a MacBook would to keep that A10X cool while it's literally upscaling everything that you watch. Like literally the interface of the Apple TV, just the home screen is rendered in full 4K 60 frames per second HDR. That's not a joke either. Apple actually made the home screen of the Apple TV in HDR, which is like the most overkill thing you could have possibly done, but they did it. I haven't used my Apple TV in quite a while. The main problem with that is that I have the Apple. I ran out of outlets in the wall by my TV, so I had to unplug my Nintendo Switch to plug the Apple TV in. And half the time, it's just not worth that much effort because I'll just watch YouTube on my iPad. Although I do have Jetpack Joyride on the Apple TV, which is I used to play that game way back in the day on my Kindle Fire. That was fun. And I forgot how much I liked that. I got it on my Apple TV. I was like, wow, Jetpack Joyride in 4K. I don't know if it would. I mean, the Apple TV upscales everything, so probably wasn't natively running Jetpack Joyride in 4K, but it was definitely being upscaled to 4K. It looked kind of great. The problem with Jetpack Joyride on the Apple TV is that there's a glitch where the back button in the shop doesn't work. So once you go into the shop, to get back out of the shop, you have to actually close the app and completely restart it. And that's been a problem since the game launched on Apple TV, and they've never taken the time to go back and fix it. So that's a big oof. Like, come on, Half Brick, what are you doing? I need my Jetpack Joyride on Apple TV. It's needed. Do. So I wasn't exactly sure what went on this week. I know Reggie retired. That was the big thing going on. That was the big Shazammy. I keep wanting to say rest in peace, Reggie, but he's not dead. This isn't an Iwata deal. He's not even retired yet. He's going to retire, go spend some more time with his wife and family, hopefully live happily ever after. So, I mean, it's not the end for him. We might still see him around sometime, maybe at some Nintendo events or something. And it's just cool to think that even though he's retiring, he'll still be here to hopefully watch Nintendo continue to grow and Nintendo of America to continue growing under Doug Bowser and all that fun stuff. Whereas Iwata, he's just kind of out of it. Obviously, he's dead. I don't know. It's been long enough that we don't really need to get sappy about Iwata anymore. Good dude. Sad he's dead, but he's moved on to better things, I hope. Anyways. YouTube and their little privacy. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. By the way, YouTube had this thing. They're being all they're advertising everywhere that they're updating their community guidelines policy. Wait for it. It's now 3 strikes you're out. I'm pretty sure that's what it was before. I always thought that it was a 3 strikes you're out thing with community guideline, but apparently it's being changed to that. So I actually have no idea what it was before. Not that I care. I've never had a community guideline violation. So it really is not an issue for me by any means, but I mean, it happened. Then the other thing, I was just thinking about what the heck happened this week other than Reggie announcing his retirement. Couldn't really think of anything in general, but did think of one thing just personally. The highlight of the week probably for me, I did watch The Greatest Showman, that movie. It's more of a musical. I'm never really a big musical fan. I've never really liked musicals all that much, but this one was really, really good. The songs were catchy, and they were always had the right emotion. There were some that were kind of sad songs when it needed to be sad. And like, I don't know, they got the emotions and the captured in those songs perfectly. And I think that was really what made that movie. It would not have been the same without the music in it. So I'm usually not a musical person, but I really liked that as a musical. If it was just a movie, I probably would have just said, whatever. That that was okay, but with the music in it, I was like, that was awesome. I got the soundtrack on Apple Music, all that fun stuff. It's good. I'm actually considering buying the movie on iTunes 4K because it is one of the still kind of limited movies in iTunes on 4K. But unfortunately, um, it's $14.99, which for a movie that's not even 2 hours long, I'm not sure $14.99 is exactly worth it. I was hoping it would be $9.99. That's how much I paid for Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is a much longer movie. So I think at least $10 for Greatest Showman. I don't think it's worth 15. That's why I'm holding out on that one. I love how even when I'm not saying anything, there's still like a light on the sound indicator that there's some sound being picked up by the microphone. I don't know if it's picking up the computer fan or there's just some kind of constant static going somewhere. I don't know what's up with that. No idea. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Oh well, Gato. Elgato made a PC specifically built for streaming, and they're now giving out free guides to that on their website to build an Elgato stream machine in case you needed to do that. But yeah, I'm always looking at ways to up quality. Seems to always have a price tag with it, and I'm not exactly a rich guy, but when you have this webcam now, 4K, it's a 4K webcam, probably one of the, if not the best webcams that money can buy. The main problem, probably with some of the fuzz you're seeing, is that the lighting is kind of bad, and so this does have some infrared sensors and crap like that that kind of maps out subjects and does some automatic color balancing and stuff to make the picture look better. And I think it's being confused by the lack of light, and that's what's making some of the pixelation weirdness. So better lighting is definitely something. And yeah, so I was looking into lighting solutions, and I've always kind of been always confused when I go and looking at something like that because there's so many options. But Elgato recently released their Elgato Key Light, which is like a studio lighting solution, I guess. Yeah, I kind of trust Elgato. I use their capture card, which works flawlessly, and the software that goes with it is pretty good as well. Still looking at switching over to OBS at some point just because better options are available there, but seems to be a pretty good capture card. Amazing capture card, I mean, pretty good software. And I have the Stream Deck, which I enjoyed using, but I've never really been a huge stickler for shortcuts, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. And then I ran out of USB jacks on my computer, so not doing that anymore. And yeah, but Keylight seems fine. I should know exactly what the price tag that's gonna come with this one. Oh, 200. Excellent. I mean, everything's pricey these days. But I'm just thinking this better be some pretty dang good studio light you're selling me for $200, Elgato. Like, seriously. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I don't know when Elgato is going to release a new capture card. They've had the same capture card lineup since I started on YouTube, which is like 2 years ago. And they've done since the 2 years that I started YouTube was they discontinued two of their capture cards, standard capture cards, and they only have one left now. They've released a couple new ones that are like PCIe slots on desktop computers, but I mean I use laptops, and even if I did use desktops, I use Macs. Both of those do not have PCIe slots to shove in a 4K capture card. So, you know, really hoping Elgato will be able to release some kind of newer capture card soon. Not that I need a 4K capture card because Switch only outputs 1080p, but still, just some kind of update because we've had the same capture card forever. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. It's only been 21 minutes. It seems like usually on these live streams, I can just sit here and blab and blab and blab and just let time fly by, and then it's been an hour. No, it's not exactly happening right now. Because I don't really know what to talk about that happened this week. I've talked a little about Reggie. I watched The Greatest Showman. That's kind of all I did this week, obviously. I wasn't making video content or anything cool like that, and just kind of shuffling by here. You know, it's all good. All good, hopefully. Mostly good. Don't worry, guys. I am working on more content for the future. I'm not just going to let this channel slip by on a live stream a week. I've joked about before of like maybe at some point we end up where multiple live streams, weekly live podcasts, I guess. They're not really podcasts, though. I just call it that because it's a nice, catchy name. I was thinking at some point we're going to end up with multiple variety podcasts that are just stacked on top of each other. I joked about that before. The only reason we didn't have that this week is because I had that random video halfway through last week that was like literally me like climbing into bed saying that, oh, I've been busy, but I'll be back at some point. And then I didn't even come back till literally 22 minutes ago with this live stream. So that was kind of a waste. And yeah, that video, that lazy half-assed video is the only thing shoved between not even last week, 3 weeks ago variety podcast and this variety podcast. So I have gotten really bad with the channel, which is bad because I said in 2019 this channel was going to be taken to new heights, and I haven't even done anything really with it at all. We've reached lower lows than even last year. Although I do find it funny going all the way back to the origin of this channel, all the way back, none of you probably even remember this, back when it was the Variety Channel 44, where I had my first video in November. My second video was not until February of 2017, and then the Nintendo Switch unboxing I did was actually my third video ever. So if any of you go back and watch that Nintendo Switch unboxing I did on launch day of 2017, I was really excited. That was the first time I ever got a console or any kind of device on launch day. I was hyped. But that was apparently only my third video of all time. Find that funny. Way back in the day. And now if I don't have like more than one video a week, it's like, oh, I'm slacking. But before we went like 3 months at a time, no videos. It's just great. Variety. I'm looking at my own channel right now because I'm wanting to see my original videos. The OG videos. Date added, oldest. Bam. Here we go, guys. So first video ever. Unboxing Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure, Gil Grunt, Spyro, Trigger Happy figure. Yeah. I wasn't even into Skylanders at the time. I'd love to say I was just into Skylanders at the time and did that. But no, I wasn't even into Skylanders. I don't know. I just kind of... I wanted to get back into Skylanders, and so I tried that. And it did not work for a start on the channel. Then from there we went to, should Nintendo add new features to the 3DS system? That was like I tried to do like a discussion video based on the 3DS updates. But first of all, that's a terrible topic to do a discussion video on. And second of all, the execution was terrible. And I prefer to never go back and watch that specific video again because I would just cringe too hard at my own horror that I created back when I had no idea how to edit. That whole video was done in iMovie on the iPad. Ugh, that's bad. Then after that was the hour-long Nintendo Switch unboxing and setup where I unboxed the Switch, did a ridiculously, obnoxiously large number of size comparisons to other objects, including but not limited to a banana, a Wii Remote disc, I don't know. There was a bunch of crap in there. And then I don't even know what happened after that. Just funny stuff. Yeah, and then that Nintendo Switch unboxing, I did the setup in the most excruciatingly long and boring way possible. The camera falls off the stand at least 3 times, making very loud clunking noises. Overall, just that was bad. I started to do a Let's Play of Breath of the Wild, except I had already been playing it on my own, so I already knew a bunch of stuff, and that was just stupid. What's new in version 2.0.0 of Super Mario Run? That was my first video to cross the 100 views mark, and I thought that was incredible. But now I do that all the time, and we've crossed 10,000 view marks on videos at this point. So, also the how to get tons of rally tickets to Super Mario Run, one of my most viewed videos, 4.9K. That was like my not even my 10th video that I ever created, but you know what kind of happened there was I suck at doing these kind of live streams. I get distracted. There's not even anybody here to chat. I'm just chatting myself up and just getting distracted anyway. Anyways, when that video launched, it only had like 4 views for like a couple months, and then all of a sudden it just shot up. I thought it was a waste of time after I did it. It just shot up, and right when it attracted the wrong kind of audience. I got a bunch of people trying to advertise like hacks for Super Mario Run. That video was not about hacks. It was about strategies, and hacks are not strategies. It's not how life works. There are a lot of failed Let's Play videos on the channel. Nintendo's new sale figures are here. I gave no context to that. No explanation of which sales figures. Nothing that would make you excited about the sales figures. Boring thumbnail. And guess what? 4 views. That's directly proportionate to the amount of effort that probably went into that. I feel bad for myself looking through this because there's plenty of this stuff I probably put a lot of effort into and probably deserved more than it got. Oh, hey, Nintendo Labo. That was last year. That was 2018. Wow. Nintendo Labo. Back before my video editing got good. That was in 28. Wow. And then a couple videos after that, we hit 50 subscribers. So that was last year. We hit 50 last year. it has not even been a year since we hit 50 subscribers, and what do we got now? We got like 211. So stuff's picking up, guys. I mean, we're not even to 1,000 yet, so that's unfortunate, but it's picking up. It's going. Oh yeah, and then when I went to Dollywood in March, I want to go back to Dollywood, but fortunately, the rest of my family and my friends are not really into that as much as I am, and even if they were, it's closed right now. There's no way you're getting into a closed amusement park to ride rides. That would just be retarded. What am I doing at this point? I always seem to notice the most growth in the channel is during the periods I don't do anything. I don't know what that says about me. And whenever we lose the most subscribers is when I'm actively putting content out. Again, I don't know what the heck that says about me. Oh, I was just scrolling through here, and then all of a sudden, I see Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Launch Live. That was also very recent. Wow, we're really picking up. And oh, there it is. There's what we're doing right now, right here in front of my face. Yeah, my recent videos have not been good. You got to go back a solid 20 videos before you get back to some of the stuff that was actually good. But yeah, this is a new year for the channel. I know it's almost March. It still feels like New Year's, okay? Let me feel like it's New Year's. New channel beginnings. Oh, ain't life great. But yeah, usual result from variety podcasts that we're seeing here again is, the whole point of these is I like to try to interact with you guys, but sometimes it works. When I first started doing these, it seems like we get at least one person chatting every time. That never really happens now. It's always just me awkwardly sitting in front of a camera trying to find my own conversation topics. It's about all that ever happens. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get ready to cut this off soon. I always look back at my old variety podcasts to see like about how long they are, and they range from like 15 minutes to like an hour and a half. So at this point, it doesn't even matter anymore. But no one really stopped by, and I don't really have anything else to talk about because, I mean, this week was so uneventful. I put watching The Greatest Showman as a topic, but that actually is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend seeing it. Even if you're not really into musicals, because I was not really. I thought it was good. I don't know why I didn't see it sooner, because that was a 2017 movie. I waited 2 years to see it. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of you guys' hair, even though no one's here. So I guess I'm not getting out of your hair. I'm getting out of my own hair. I got things to do. But hopefully more content coming soon. Who knows? Even if I don't produce any content in the next few days, you guys got this 30-minute video you can watch through. Although if you're hearing this, you've probably already watched through it. At this point, I'm just stalling to try and add some more minutes to my dang live stream. So peace out. Bye-bye.